but we're going to wrap.
Money in the bank.
Rates are good. Pretty exciting.
You know why? Right.
Free money. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for staying with us. It's the Money Talk segment of the big show. Kelvin Kaemingk, ladies and gentlemen, 651-231-2500 is the number to call. 651-231-2500. Lowest rates in town. Free money.
Free money. It's good. Boy,
right.
Rates are low, man.
Are they?
Holy cow. So we hit another low this past week again on current interest rates. So as the forbearance,
I didn't think you could go any lower, Calvin, and you've hit a new low.
This
is a new low for you.
It's a new low. I think we're going to be in a new low environment through this year.
Did you lock me yet? I told you to lock me when it get to a certain point.
I'd want to get you lower. Okay. I'm going to wait till mid twos.
All right.
Mid twos.
I'm going to need mid twos.
Yeah.
2-point drop. Let's go.
So 30-year fixed. You know, now when you're having that conversation on 30-year fixed money, because people want the money segment to have rates right out of the beginning. So let's hit it. There's a 2 in front of a lot of them right now, and so that's crazy. 2.99, 2.875, paying a little bit, get down to 2. You know, you're paying a little bit maybe for 2.75, but that is, think of that. You're locking money for 30 years at under 3%. Now you take your tax. You know, the only thing you get right off is mortgage interest anymore,
right?
Almost, right?
Yeah.
So
we had a mutual closing yesterday, and he locked it 3%, but I mean that's phenomenal too.
Unbelievable. So now your effective interest rate is really under 2.5% for that money. So it's a good time. I'm talking to everybody. I mean, we're typically, you know, my favorite sweet spot is 15% down, even if they have 20 or 25, or I go 15% down. The mortgage insurance is super cheap. We do a one payment, and we do the single payment. We hold on to that additional money, because when you're locking down money at, you know, under 3% or right around 3%, that is so cheap. Grab that money, right? And so 30-year fixed, you're thinking right around 3. So if you're listening to the show and say, you know, my rate's at, quite honestly, if there's a 4 in front of your number, in front of your rate, let's have a conversation. If it's high 3s, probably still worth a conversation depending on your equity. We're finding that we're getting some nice equity gains. So the good right now is equity's going up, rates are going down. So we're able to get rid of mortgage insurance. We're combining first and seconds. We're doing a lot of those sorts of things. I did a jumbo one, and paying off a first and second. When you pay off a first and second, it's not considered cash out in the non-conforming or jumbo world. So that's kind of nice. So it's rate and term. Now, jumbo hasn't come all the way back. You're still high 3s in that an ARM, 7-year ARM was 3.5% yesterday for jumbo. So the non-conforming market isn't all the way back, but let's still check it out. But conforming right around 3, 15-year right now. We locked one yesterday at 2.625. So 2.375. But he paid about 35 bips, so we paid a little bit. So we're always showing everybody what's the opportunity here. Here's where you are at par, or just there's no cost for the rate. Here's if you pay a little bit, and if you don't want to bring any money to close or cover your costs, you can pop up an eighth as well, and we can cover some of your costs. So, like I said, one of the last shows we moved a rate from about it was 3 1/8 to 3.5, because the appraisal came in lower, right? They jacked the thing up, and they wanted closing costs, right? Exactly what you say not to do. They did, and the appraisal didn't hit, right?
Right.
So, but we took their rate to 3.5, which is great, right? And we had $4 or $5 grand there, and we used those dollars to basically replace costs. Yeah. So everybody threw some money in the hat. It's our way to throw some money in the hat, and then waived our lender fees. And, you know, we do what we can, right, in every transaction just to get us to the table.
Make it work.
Yep, get done. So a lot of good things going on there. I anticipate as these forbearances drop off and they continue to decrease, how many people are in forbearance in the country. It was up to about 9% of all mortgages. Now it's right at about 7%. So it's a nice decrease. I think rates are actually going to get a little bit lower.
Oh, really?
And
so where do you think they're going? You've been wrong for about 18 years we've been doing the show. But
I'm always wrong. So I'm
crystal ball.
I would say they're going up 5%. Because I'll probably be right for once, right? Yeah. No, I think we're going to get.
You're going to buck the trend. I'm going against.
I'm going against everything. So I would say we're going to get in that high 2s. I think we're going to be 2.5, 2.75.
Any difference? Any significant difference, like in a 20-year or a 15-year or a 10-year?
15. I mean, 15. We're picking up half point. So if you can go on that type of a payment, right? So your payment's going to be a lot higher over 15 years. If you can take it, grab it and go. Otherwise, do the 30, make the payment as the 15. Then when your kids go to school or a life event happens, you can drop down to that 30-year payment, but you have the ability to always, pay more. You can always pay more. Sometimes on the 15-year, when I'm showing it to people, when we start with a 15, we probably leave it as a 15 probably 70% of the time.
Okay.
30% of the time, we're dropping that back to a 30. And we have a cool calculator that just shows, hey, if you just put that additional in, we're hitting it anyway, but you have the flexibility of having that lower payment if you need it. So they kind of evaluate their world and what's my job look like? What are my kids? What are the ages? How are we going to hit college and stuff like that? So anyway, that's where we're at on rates right now. Give me a call, 651-231-2500. It's great to have conversations and just see. I mean, let's just see. So we're doing that a lot.
What else is new? Refis are good?
Refis are fine. Yeah, we're doing a lot of refis. A lot of purchases, though. And purchases, you guys are turning them fast. So we got a lot of PAs that you guys are going 3 weeks.
Just testing your new process over there.
Yeah.
What are the things that are the most challenging? What are the things that are most challenging for you during the day and just on a normal business in terms of doing loans and stuff like that you're seeing now that maybe wasn't the case a couple of years ago?
Probably sheer volume. Yep, sheer volume. So it used to be like if you're closing 8 to 10 to 12 loans a month, it's like, wow, you're crushing it. My business partner's closing 20 plus a month right now. So there's just a sheer volume and managing through that. And then
now, does your process just allow you to do more? Is it just more streamlined now?
Yeah, we hired 1.5. We hired one full-time person, and my oldest son is interning with us this summer, and they're doing all setup. So Jared and I'm probably one strength that we have is process flow. So how do we get that file to hit fast everywhere? And then we had 3 more people get trained to resubmit. So yeah, we've honed in our system so we can fly, right? And now we have a number. I have a number of branches that work with us, and now they're all saying, hey, can we just use your system? Because they like how we flow, right? So so that's probably the difference, is just managing the sheer volume of files and knowing what's going on, and then we prioritize the purchases, obviously. So we're marking all those 7 days prior to close to know that we got to be done, right? Because if we use that 7 day, if we use that number, then we're gonna not have any issues at the end. So we're trying to make sure we don't have issues at the end. So one thing that's interesting, so we're doing this little remodel at the house and all that. Builders right now, interesting situation for them. That they're coming out saying you can only have one trade at your home at a time, so you can't have the HVAC people there with these people. So it's just really been interesting. I was talking to our general contractor what a challenge it is for those people right now, and scheduling and making people. Some people don't care, some people do.
Everybody lined up in an appropriate time.
Yeah, and the city inspectors, no trades on the site. Well, they're going to come for 2 minutes, right, and put their head in the window, see that it's insulated, and leave.
Yeah.
So it's all that.
Get everybody out in the street then, or what?
Yeah, he just schedules it first or last. I mean, they do a great job. We had them on the show. They're doing a fantastic job of just knocking things out.
So when you say no trades on the site at the same time, whose option is that? Is that a state mandated thing? Or?
Yeah, that came out from the governor's office.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, but he said a lot of the builders are just saying that, we're going to do our best. But it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, the plumber will be in that room and the electrician's will be in that room.
I was at a build the other day, and there's guys doing tile work in this part of the house, and then there's sheetrock over here, and the plumber's wrapping up his job.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was I took a photograph of the street because I said to my client, I said, got a really busy street right here. I mean, they were in all the homes, like all up and down this brand new street that's being built in the city. So
it's pretty interesting when they have their whole crews there. I mean, there's cars lined up, there's trucks. Yeah. They poured cement this week. You got the cement truck. I mean, it's crazy the amount of activity
that's happening.
So, but the the industry's good right now. I mean, you guys seem very busy. which is great to see. I will tell you there's a big difference between types of realtors, though. Where, you know, the ones that are coming over that are trying to negotiate and closing costs all the time and doing that and upping it, and they just don't have a handle on the business. So just hats off to you guys, because it's just so much easier to work with people that know
when
what
we look at
what they're
offers,
doing,
multiple offers
you know?
coming in, we look at the company and the agent. I look at their volume that they do and all that stuff, because when you're saying I'm not going to work with this guy, but I am going to work with this one over here, with this offer over here,
Right.
You want to make sure that all of the pieces are in place, and a big part of that is the agent.
I've had a couple deals just in the last couple of weeks that they chose to work with ours because of our team, and I've had previous transactions with these people, and they say, you know, it was smooth before, and so we assume we know what we're going to get based on this. So when we're choosing between 15 offers or 5 offers or 3, if there's somebody there that we've worked with before and the process was great, then we want to have that process again. So give us a call if you're looking for a smooth process of buying or selling a home. 612-627-8000. Log on to hittnergroup.com.
You've been listening to your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, the leaders of the #1 Coldwell Banker